Okay, friends, today's project is all about making a statement. Cat Scrappiness just released their brand new word dies, and let me tell you, these are bold, beautiful, and absolutely perfect for creating eye catching cards in minutes. Whether you want a big dramatic sentiment to stand up on its own, or you love pairing it with a main word die with those little sweet sub sentiments, these dies give you endless ways to design quick, simple, and striking cards. I can't wait to show you how these bold word dies instantly elevate any project. Well, hello crafty friends and welcome to my channel. Today we will be taking a closer look at these stunning new sentiment dies designed by Cat Scrappiness, and trust me, they are perfect for making that bold beautiful statements on your cards. We've got two fabulous sentiments in this release. First up is the Howdy sentiment, perfect for your cowboy themed projects or even just a fun, playful way to greet your friends. And then we have Hey Y'all, another great option to switch things up from your usual hi or hello on a card. Both the sentiment comes in two pieces, the main word die, which works beautifully on its own, and also comes with the coordinating shadow die that adds a perfect backing to highlight that gorgeous font on these sentiments. They are bold, they are versatile, and they make sentiment building so much more easier. I also love that these dies come detabbed, which means no clipping them apart and no worrying about those tiny little metal edges poking out, no matter how careful I try to be. It's such a small detail, but it makes crafting so much more easier and so much more safer. Now, both of these sentiments coordinate perfectly with the Cowboy Quokka release, which was one of the previous releases by Cat Scrappiness. And if you've seen it, you'll know that it is packed with the cutest stamps and die sets, gorgeous pattern papers, sentiments, and even die cut ephemera pieces. Now, for my card number one, I'll be using the Cowboy Quokka paper pad along with one of the ephemera pieces, and I will finish it off with that bold Howdy sentiment. This paper pad is absolutely stunning. Every sheet is filled with beautiful designs and a color palette that just works perfectly for so many different styles of cards. There's something so warm and cheerful about it, and I knew right away that I wanted to use it to create a fun little hillside scene. I picked out this gorgeous yellow pattern paper because it has that soft, glowing look that reminds me of the rising sun sky, the perfect backdrop for our Cowboy Quokka theme. I went ahead and trimmed this piece to measure 4 by 5 1/4 inches, which is slightly smaller than a standard A2 size card base. That way, when it's mounted, we'll have that nice even border all the way around the card front, giving everything a very clean and finished look. Next, I picked out one of the green pattern papers from the paper pad to create my hillside. For this, I used the A2 Stitched Hill die by Cat Scrappiness. Now, when you run this die through your machine, you'll actually end up with two pieces, the main hill with that gorgeous stitched detail and the leftover piece. I always keep both because even that extra piece is perfect for another project down the road. Nothing goes to waste in my craft room. Well, for this card, I used the stitched hill as my main element and adhered it along the lower portion of my yellow sky panel using liquid glue. Once it was in place, I trimmed off that excess hanging over the edge with my paper trimmer to get that clean, perfect, and aligned look. Now, if you wanted to, you could absolutely create this entire scene with ink blending on plain white cardstock, blending your sky, your hillside, and building everything from scratch. But I really wanted to show you that you can create beautiful, effortless backgrounds simply by using pattern papers. This is one of those card designs that truly comes together in minutes because not only do you have pattern papers that instantly give you a gorgeous backdrop, but you also have these fun, colorful die cut ephemera pieces that are completely ready to use. All of the cowboy images in this ephemera pack coordinate perfectly with the matching stamp set, which makes everything so cohesive. And honestly, one of the best parts about using these ephemera is how much time it saves. You're getting ready made images that are already stamped, colored, and die cut for you. No extra steps needed. These are perfect when you already have a design in mind or when you want to mass produce multiple cards as with the same layout. All of these images are just incredibly adorable. The coloring, the expression, and the little details, everything is done so beautifully, which honestly made it really hard for me to choose one of them for my card front. I kept going back and forth because all of them would have looked so cute on the scene. To help me decide, I bought in my Howdy die cut and placed it on the upper left hand corner of the panel. That gave me a better idea of how much space I needed to work with on the right hand side and which image would balance the design nicely. In the end, I decided to go with the little girl in the pink. She just fits perfectly as the main focal point of this card, and her colors tie in so well with the soft background and the bold sentiment. For my sentiment, I decided to cut the word howdy from one of the brown pattern papers. Well, I thought it would give the card a nice rustic feel. Of course, you could use craft or plain brown cardstock, but I wanted to show you how you can use pattern paper for your word dies. Off camera, I went ahead and die cut the coordinating shadow piece using black cardstock. Now, at this point, I could have assembled everything and called this card done, but I wanted to add a little sub sentiment below the main die cut word. For this, I'm using the coordinating Cowboy Quokka sentiment, and if you take a closer look, you'll notice how perfectly the little girl in the ephemera matches the images in the stamp set. Now, for my sentiment, I wanted to stamp the country girl sentiment, which I thought matched perfectly with our focal point image. I placed my panel onto my Altenew stamp wheel. Before stamping, I put down my grid transparency sheet, which will help me align everything perfectly. I also laid down the ephemera and the die cut sentiment to get a clear idea of where I wanted the sub sentiment to go. Once everything was in place, I stamped the sentiment using VersaFine Onyx black ink and then heat embossed it with clear embossing powder. I absolutely love the glossy shine this gives. It really makes the sentiment pops and adds just the right amount of elegance to the card. Now, because this pattern paper isn't as thick as your regular heavyweight cardstock, I recommend keeping your heat gun moving when embossing so you avoid any warping. Once that's done, I like to set the panel aside for that embossing powder to cool down while I assemble my sentiments. Adhering the die cut sentiment over the shadow layer is super easy. I just use tiny drops of glue to adhere them together. Now, since the sentiment is big but delicate, I like to hold it in place with my reverse tweezers to make sure that my fingers don't disturb those tiny little drops of glue. Before adhering any of the elements permanently, I decided to pop up this panel onto an A2 size card base first. Now, this gives us the main dimension for the card, while the sentiment and the focal point image will be directly adhered onto the panel itself using some liquid glue. Now, well, if you like having dimension on your cards, you could definitely pop up the sentiments as well as that little girl. Now, I picked up the die cut sentiment with my reverse tweezers and added some liquid glue at the back and placed it right above the stamped sub sentiment. Now, one of my favorite things about liquid glue is that it gives you a little wiggle room before it sticks, so you can make sure everything is perfectly aligned before committing. Once the sentiment was in place, I used liquid glue again to adhere the little girl die cut ephemera piece on the right hand side of the panel, and just like that, our card is complete. I absolutely love how quick and easy this card came together. It was such a fun and effortless design. With that, we'll move on to card number two, where I'll be using the Hey Y'all sentiment. Now, for this one, I wanted to try something a little bit different. So instead of sticking with the Cowboy Quokka themed products, I decided to go for a fun party themed look. Now, I'll be keeping the overall design similar, using pattern papers as my background, adding a fun die cut ephemera piece, and of course, featuring the new Hey Y'all sentiment front and center. For this card, I'll be using the Birthday Quokka pattern paper along with Meet the Quokka's die cut ephemera piece. Now, this ephemera pack is packed with so many fun, cute, and absolutely adorable little Quokka images. Just like with card number one, I found myself struggling to choose which image to feature as the main focal point for our card. There were just too many adorable options here. After going back and forth for quite some time, I finally settled on that little guy, and he seemed to match perfectly with the beautiful blue pattern paper from the Birthday Quokka pattern paper, which had that tiny little white polka dot designs on it. Now, this blue paper will serve as the main background for our card. I trimmed it down to measure 4 by 5 and quarter, just slightly smaller than your standard A2 size card base, again to get that clean border once it's mounted on the card base. Now, initially, I had planned to place just the ephemera piece and the sentiment on this panel, but then I thought, why not use this blue pattern paper as a little wallpaper? To add some extra detail, I grabbed a strip of white cardstock to mimic a wall panel, which really gives the card a bit more dimension and interest. Now, for this card, I used just the word die and we'll not be using the shadow die. And I went ahead and temporarily placed the sentiment in the top right corner of the panel. I also positioned the focal point image and the white strip temporarily just to get a sense of where everything goes, and then adhered the hey y'all sentiment directly onto the blue panel using liquid glue. Now, to add a bit more visual interest and dimension to this otherwise flat design, I decided to add some texture to that plain white cardstock strip. One of the easiest way to do this is by scoring. I took the strip over to my scoreboard and carefully scored lines about half an inch apart. This gives it a subtle texture that really mimics the look of a plywood wall paneling. It's a simple detail, but it adds so much more to the overall design. Once I had my lines scored onto this white strip, I adhered the white panel onto the blue background panel. It instantly added depth and broke up all that flatness because we directly mounted the sentiment onto that blue panel. There's no dimension whatsoever. Now, to make everything look polished and finished, I added a thin strip of white cardstock along the edge where the white and the blue panels meet. This little border gives a clean and professional look. Finally, I took my scissors and trimmed off any of that excess hanging over the edges, making sure that all the layers are perfectly aligned. These are the small touches that really elevate the design, giving it that extra dimension and detail without adding too much bulk. It is such an easy way to make a card look more intricate while still keeping the process super simple and fun. For this card, I decided to give the focal point image a little extra dimension, so I popped it up on the card front using tiny foam squares. Now, these are thinner foam squares, so they add lift without creating any extra bulk, perfect for keeping the card nice and smooth and easy to mail. Now, once the focal point was in place, I adhered the entire panel on a top folding A2 size card base using liquid glue. And just like that, our card number 2 is also complete. I love the hey y'all sentiment and how beautifully it pops against that blue background. And I also love the textured white panel, which adds a little bit of that extra detail that makes the whole design come together beautifully. And there you have it, two fun, quick, and easy cards that came together in no time. I absolutely love how the new Cat Scrappiness word dice takes center stage here. They make it so simple to create bold, beautiful sentiments that really stand out whether you're using them on their own or pairing them with sub sentiments for that extra detail. I hope this video inspires you to pull out your word dice and start making bold statements of your own. All the supplies that I used to create these cards will be listed down in the description box below. Please note that all of these links are affiliate links, which means that if you shop using one of my links, I'll get a small commission at no cost to you guys. Thank you again for joining me today. Until next time, stay safe.